Welcome back to CIA Declassified. We're looking at the spies that are literally under your feet. During the 1960s and 70s, the CIA's Office of Research and Development faced a problem. How do you detect an invisible, odorless nerve gas before it kills your entire station? The answer wasn't found in a laboratory at MIT, but in the chirps of the common cricket. This was Project CHIRP. The agency realized that insects are the most sensitive machines on Earth. A cricket's nervous system reacts to toxins long before a human shows a single symptom. Project CHIRP was a feasibility study conducted to determine if the acoustic patterns of crickets changed in the presence of organophosphates. A quote from a CIA internal memo dated 1972, "The insect serves as a primary alarm system, providing a bioindicator that is both cost-effective and naturally occurring," end quote. The researchers focused on the Ouokita domesticus, or common house cricket, because its song is remarkably consistent. CIA entomologists discovered that even trace amounts of sarin gas caused the cricket's wing rubbing frequency to spike before the insect died. The agency developed a BioBox, a small vented container equipped with a sensitive microphone to monitor cricket behavior in real time. Project CHIRP also experimented with cockroaches whose cerci, the small appendages on their rear, can detect minute changes in air pressure and chemical composition. One proposal involved seeding the perimeter of sensitive installations with thousands of crickets to create a natural living alarm perimeter. A quote from Dr. Stephen Kimball, CIA scientist: "We are essentially eavesdropping on the biological distress signals of the natural world," end quote. The CIA's Technical Services Division spent over $100,000, nearly $1 million in today's value, studying the chirp rate variance of insects under chemical stress. Data from the project was shared with the U.S. Army's Chemical Corps at Fort Detrick to develop broader biodetection protocols. Project CHIRP researchers found that crickets could detect certain nerve agents at concentrations as low as 1 part per billion. To analyze the data, the CIA used early mainframe computers to create audio fingerprints of healthy versus poisoned cricket colonies. The project was eventually folded into a larger program called Biological Sentinel Systems. Researchers found that the temperature of the room had to be strictly controlled so crickets naturally chirp faster as it gets warmer, a phenomenon known as Dolbear's law. The agency even considered using bioluminescent insects like fireflies that would stop glowing if the air became toxic. By 1975, the project had shifted focus to the honeybee, which could be trained to associate the smell of explosives with food. A quote from the Project CHIRP final report summary: "While insects are reliable indicators, their lifespan and environmental sensitivity present significant logistical hurdles," end quote. One secret test site for Project CHIRP was reportedly located in the tunnels beneath the CIA's old headquarters in Foggy Bottom. The project was officially shuttered in the late 1970s as electronic chemical sniffers became more sophisticated. Documents show the CIA also looked into using chirping to mask the sound of low-frequency eavesdropping equipment in rural areas. The BioBox prototype was designed to look like a standard electrical transformer to avoid suspicion from foreign agents. Despite its termination, the research laid the groundwork for modern biomems, micro-electromechanical systems. The agency kept a cricket library of thousands of hours of recordings to use as a baseline for future bioacoustic research. A quote from Dr. Sidney Gottlieb regarding biological assets. We are not merely observing the insect, we are utilizing its evolutionary perfection as a tool for national survival. End quote. Project CHIRP explored the phonotaxis of crickets, the movement in response to sound, to see if they could be steered towards a chemical leak using specific audio frequencies. The researchers discovered that certain crickets would begin to chirp in a chaotic manner when exposed to the electromagnetic interference of nearby Soviet radar installations. Operation Acoustic Kitty is well known, but Project CHIRP was its quieter, smaller, and significantly more successful cousin in the field of bioespionage. The BioBox units were equipped with miniature heaters to keep the crickets at exactly 78 degrees, ensuring the chirp rate remained a stable baseline. If you pull the declassified files for Project CHIRP, you'll find a section called Tactical Offense Applications. It is almost entirely blacked out, with the exception of the word aerosol. The black bars start appearing right after the mention of miniature actuators. A theory that makes the skin of any city dweller crawl is that the CIA wasn't just building sensors. Speculation suggests these redactions hide the cyborg cricket, a program where live insects had electrodes implanted into their brains to be driven like tiny biological drones, and the black bars hide the flight control frequencies. A whisper from a former DARPA contractor claims the black bars hide the silent sting. Speculation is that the CIA developed a payload cricket capable of carrying a microscopic drop of VX nerve agent and delivering it to a target's skin while they slept, and the redactions cover the assassination roster. Some believe the redactions hide the swarm intelligence. The theory is that the agency found a way to link the minds of thousands of crickets into a single hive mind to process intelligence faster than any 1970s computer, and the black bars hide the organic processor benchmarks. Could the black bars hide the frequency weapon? One wild theory suggests the CIA used the cricket's chirps to transmit encoded messages that only other insects could hear, creating a bug network that was impossible to jam, and the redactions cover the cricket cipher keys. Some believe the redactions hide the locust protocol. The theory is that the CIA was developing a way to activate natural swarms to descend on enemy crops at the touch of a button, and the black bars hide the agricultural warfare targets. There is a theory that the black bars hide the human-insect interface. Speculation suggests the CIA experimented with psychic driving, but on bugs, trying to let a human handler see through the eyes of a cricket, and the redactions cover the sensory link failure rates. Some speculate the redactions hide the genetic tracker. The theory is that the CIA released genetically modified crickets that would hitchhike on the clothes of Soviet diplomats, emitting a sub-audible ping, and the black bars hide the global tagging maps. Whispers claim the black bars hide the infrasonic lullaby. The theory is that the agency used millions of synchronized cricket chirps to put entire villages into a deep sleep, and the redactions cover the mass sedation field test. Some speculate the redactions hide the insect eavesdropper. The theory is that the CIA grew crickets with microphones actually grown into their shells as larvae, and the black bars hide the organic bugging schematics. Some speculate the black bars hide the Pavlovian predator. The theory is that the CIA trained swarms of predatory insects to attack anyone wearing a specific Russian cologne, and the redactions cover the chemical trigger list. Rumors swirl that the black bars hide the 5G resonator. Speculation suggests that Project CHIRP discovered insects can act as biological antennas for secret high-frequency transmissions, and the redactions cover the signal amplification through exoskeletons. Could the black bars hide the larva infiltrator? A wild theory claims the U.S. developed a way to plant microscopic recovering devices inside cricket eggs that would eventually be carried into the vents of the Kremlin, with the bars hiding the life cycle surveillance logs. Some believe the redactions hide the pheromone puppet. The theory is that the agency created an artificial scent that makes crickets chirp in Morse code, and the black bars hide the natural broadcast dictionary. Some speculate the redactions hide the soundless alarm. Speculation suggests the CIA developed crickets that would emit an ultrasonic scream, inaudible to humans but detectable by agency sensors, at the sight of an unauthorized person, and the bars cover the frequency displacement charts. Finally, some speculate the black bars hide the hibernate trigger. The theory is that the CIA released millions of crickets across Eastern Europe that can be instantly killed or activated by a specific satellite beam, and the redactions cover the biomass denial protocols. Was Project CHIRP a success? Technologically, it was a mixed bag. The insects were incredibly sensitive, but they were also temperamental. A cold snap or a hungry bird could take out your entire early warning system. However, operationally, the CIA proved that biological systems could be integrated into high-stakes security environments. It shifted the agency's thinking from machine versus nature to machine using nature. The cricket code led to innovations we still see in the field today as far as operational breakthroughs go, such as bioacoustic signature analysis, the ability to filter out natural sounds to find hidden signals in the environment, microenvironment monitoring, learning how to keep small biological assets alive in extreme conditions like desert bunkers, pheromone signaling, the early research into using chemical scents to direct or repel biological entities, and remote micro audio arrays, the development of microphones that could pick up the wing beats of an insect from 50 feet away. The next time you're sitting on your porch on a summer night, listen to the crickets. Are they just singing for a mate, or are they telling the CIA that a storm is coming? Project CHIRP reminds us that the smallest creatures can carry the biggest secrets. Thanks for listening, and be sure to join us next time. We're going to be examining Project Mugwort and a hidden greenhouse. The agency asked, "Can a plant feel a spy?" We'll uncover the bizarre research into plant perception, where the CIA used polygraph machines on plants to see if they reacted to the malicious intent of an approaching enemy. We'll also dig into the wild theory of the chlorophyll network. Speculation suggests the Project Mugwort wasn't just about polygraphs, but also about a secret botanical frequency that allows trees to talk directly to agency satellites, turning the entire Amazon rainforest into a massive listening post. Join us for the green lie detector. In the meantime, I'll see you in the archives.